Hello, my name is Professor Christian Reich. I'm working in Hamburg and Berlin, Germany as a dermatologist. I'm Professor for Dermatology at the Georg August University in Göttingen. And it is my real pleasure today to talk about a very interesting new cosmetic series. And we create this video for Clitina, which is the exclusive partner for Ocean Pharma and their great products in China. As a dermatologist, I'm often confronted with very typical problems. And you see some of them here at this picture: warts, infected eczema, fungal infections of the nail, herpes, all these little problems that so many patients have, otherwise healthy individuals, and they all want a good, a safe, an easy solution for these problems. And I do think we have an answer. The answer comes from this little species here, which is a tropical microalgae, Spirulina platensis. You can see here that it's a real survivalist. It exists since billions of years on this planet. It lives in salty seas, in tropical regions of Central Africa, Southeast Asia, and Australia. And it lives in an environment where it is exposed to bacteria, viral problems, fungal problems, and you cannot survive for so many years if you have not developed a good defense system against all these challenges. So the whole idea of this Ocean Pharma series is that you use this natural defense system and you make it available for human beings to solve in a safe way very common and very frequent problems. So what is actually going on? How do we do this? And there's a lot of research behind this. First of all, you really have to find the right species. You have to grow the species in the right way. And you have to find a good process to actually isolate this antimicrobial, this defensive potential from the microalgae. And Ocean Pharma has developed this machine and this technology. This is called an extruder, where you use pressure to put the microalgae under stress. Only then they will produce and activate the defense system. And in the end, you have a microalgae extract. This is patented. The whole process is patented. This microalgae extract is purified. It has actually potentiated, enhanced the defensive characteristics of this microalgae. And this product is called Spiralin, and Spirularin is the name of the cosmetic series that contains this active defensive mechanism of this microalgae. You see here the long list of proven activities of Spiralin. It has, and I will go a little bit deeper into this, there are antifungal properties, there are antibacterial and antiviral properties. It reduces skin inflammation, and very importantly, it also has a cell regenerative and cell protective potential. It even increases collagen synthesis, and very importantly, it is absolutely safe. We have now years of experience. We have used this cosmetic series in thousands and thousands of patients, and we have never seen a significant problem. So I think it's a nice way that you use a natural ingredient to solve problems that patients and normal individuals actually have. And because it's this natural ingredient, and I think will be very attractive to Chinese people, because I know they love natural ingredients, because correctly they associate a good safety with this, and this is exactly what we see. You see here an example. This is the broad antifungal activities. You see it works against yeast like Candida, which often infect the skin, but even against what we dermatologists call the real fungal infections, the dermatophyte infections. You see great antifungal potential of this microalgae extract. Just an example, you see here a dermatophyte culture before, after 24 hours and after 5 days of exposure to the microalgae extract, and you can see without being a scientist that there is almost no fungal infection left after the exposure to this microalgae extract. And you see actually the strong antifungal property that Spiralin has. In addition to the antifungal effects, we see a broad range of antibacterial effects. Why is this important? Diseases like and problems like acne, they are related to Propionibacterium acnes, and we see a great activity against this bacterium. Staphylococcus aureus is another bacterium that is very frequently associated with skin problems, and we see a broad and very potent activity against Staphylococcus aureus. Actually, we even see this, you see the picture here, this is the effect, minus 80% growth inhibition by the microalgae extract of Staph aureus, and even of the very complicated, the so-called multi-resistant Staph aureus, we see a very great antibacterial property of the microalgae extract. And of course, the whole idea is, if so many skin problems are related to fungal or bacterial infections, that we can make use of this microalgae extract, that you can bring it into a cosmetic series, and then with this cosmetic series you will be able to solve all these problems. And actually, this is pretty much the experience that we have. I talked a little bit, I mentioned the cell protective and cell regenerative potential. These are experiments done at the University of Potsdam. They took fibroblast cultures, they exposed them to UV irradiation, and you can actually not only show that if you give these fibroblasts the microalgae extract before the UV irradiation, you don't have the UV damage you normally see, so we call this a cell protective effect. But even if you add it during UV irradiation, you have a certain regenerative effect, and you see here on this slide with the green bars that fibroblast cultures, either if you use it before or after, they go back to their normal proliferative, to their normal growth. And this means that by using this, you will also have a protective effect against environmental stress. And I think if you live in Shanghai or Beijing, I think for many Chinese people to know that you have a product here that protects your skin, that enhances your regenerative potential, this is also very interesting. The last topic I briefly want to mention is the antiviral story, and we have done great science behind this. This has been published in the high-ranked journal. We could actually show that a specific sugar contained in the microalgae extract protects human keratinocytes from herpes simplex infection. We could identify the mechanism behind this. This is a cell culture, and you see here that this sugar contained in the algae extract is as potent as a topical and systemically used antiviral substance, acyclovir, in actually inhibiting infection with herpes simplex. So we were very surprised by this strong antiviral activity against herpes, and we showed this with different methods, and we could actually identify the mechanism. I don't want to go into details here. You can all read it in this publication. But what you can basically show is that this sugar, it is like an umbrella around the host cell, and this umbrella means that the virus can no longer attach to the cell, and since attachment is the first step of the infection, by this umbrella function you can actually inhibit the infection. So that is a great mechanism that this sugar in the microalgae extract uses to protect human keratinocytes from infections by herpes simplex, and we could actually show similar effects with other viruses. So based on all this scientific research, Ocean Pharma has created a series of products that make use of these antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, cell protective, cell regenerative effects